Get business done with the new American Express Graphite Business Cash Unlimited card. With unlimited 2% cash back on all eligible purchases, unlimited 5% cash back on flights and prepaid hotels booked through American Express Travel Online, and a flexible spending capacity that can grow with your business, you'll have the confidence to keep building. Apply today and earn a welcome offer of $1,500 cash back after you spend $50,000 in qualifying purchases on your new card within the first 6 months of card membership. Terms apply. Learn more at go.amex/graphite.
I scream. You scream. We all scream. Because Wendy's famous small classic Frosty is just $1 for a limited time. More screaming, happy screaming, summer screaming, dollar small classic Frosty screaming! But please don't scream in the drive-thru. It hurts the employees' ears. Get a $1 small classic Frosty for a limited time, only at Wendy's.
U.S. price and participation may vary. A la carte only, not valid for delivery. Limit 10 per transaction. Price may be higher in Alaska and Hawaii.
Welcome to The Hypnotist, the show that gives you inside access to cutting-edge hypnosis with real clients facing genuine issues. Brought to you by the hypnotherapist demanded by celebrities, CEOs, and even royalty, Adam Cox. These recordings took place live from Adam's clinic in London's world-famous Harley Street. So, get yourself comfortable and enjoy today's episode of The Hypnotist.
Hi, it's Adam here, and you're about to listen to a hypnosis session that was created for a client that was a very talented and very successful musician, and actually for most of their life considered themselves to be a bit of an optimist and full of enthusiasm and passion. But there was a series of events that took place over a 5-year period that seemed to feel like it was a rug pull on life, that people they thought they could trust betrayed them. Things that they kind of thought should happen didn't happen. They got let down. And what that can do is it can erode trust and belief in people and even yourself. And because of that, their world got smaller. And what this session is really all about is reactivating a resource state of passion, of enthusiasm, what some people would call a mojo. So it uses timeline therapy to go back to a time when they were abundant in these resources, and then to explore a future of what it would be like if they had this attitude of going all in, of aiming for the home runs. And, you know, I'm in the UK, we don't play or watch a lot of baseball here, but there is a lot of American metaphors that kind of feed into the language. And I know nothing about baseball, but what I know about baseball is that if you're going for a home run, you increase the likelihood of a strikeout because you're swinging for the fences. You're really going all in. You're going for it. And those people that are going for a home run accept that. They accept that they're not playing it safe, that it does increase the likelihood of them losing. But by going all in and really committing to that thing, it also increases the ability to have those wonderful outcomes. Now, for this client, the home runs were metaphorical for different areas of their life. They were a musician, they're not playing baseball. So the home runs could be an amazing relationship or incredible friendships that flourish, or rekindling and revitalizing a career that had reached a plateau. All of these things are home runs, but in order to do that, it's about taking a few risks. And I say this deliberately, hoping that if you're listening to this right now, you might connect with an idea of, in certain areas of your life, you might be playing it safe and you don't even try anymore in certain things. In psychology, that would be called learned helplessness, the thought connected to the idea of why even bother? And that creates a self-fulfilling prophecy, because if you don't bother to try, it deprives you of getting the result that you could get if you took action in that area. And that's a very destructive cycle. So we want this element of not, oh, but what if it fails? It's the attitude of resilience. Who cares if it fails? If it fails, you're no worse off than where you were before. But if you give it a go, then you either get the outcome that you want, or you get the wisdom. And what a lot of people fail to appreciate is that if they've had a tough life and they've been let down and they've been betrayed and they've been deceived, you have more experience now, more wisdom now than you have ever had, in which case that can influence future decisions, not to stop taking risks, but to take a different type of risk, factoring in all of that wisdom. It's a superpower if you allow it to be that. You might also notice in this particular session, I'm not looking into the screen, the camera, and that's because this client was actually in the studio here with me. So although 99% of my clients, they're living somewhere else in the world, this client actually came into the studio. And if you like the idea of working with me, either face-to-face here in the studio or remotely, you might be somewhere else in the world, there will be a link in the show notes where you can explore learning more about how to work with me. For now, though, find a quiet, comfortable place where you won't be distracted or disturbed, relax, and enjoy the session. Breathing in relaxation and exhaling tension. And the deeper you breathe, the more relaxed you can feel. And the more relaxed you can feel, the deeper you breathe. As you scan your body for any clues of tension. And sometimes it's lurking, it's hiding. Perhaps you remember as a child playing hide and seek. Only this time you're looking for blocks and tension. It might be a tightness in the jaw or a heaviness in the arms. But whenever you find it, you release it, breathing in that resourceful relaxation and exhaling. That's it. And I want you to imagine floating up out of your body, seeing yourself there where you are. And just imagine there's almost a line that passes through you. A line that goes towards your future and all the way back in your past. And for a while, the future has seemed dark or bleak. But only because you've given certain meanings to recent events that are not true and are not useful. You've been weaving a narrative that turns down the brightness on your future. And if that's true, when we go back in time and give new meanings that are more honest and more truthful, you get to turn up the brightness of that future and unleash all of those resources within that have been there, but trapped, frozen, locked in a block of ice. And I think it's about time we melt that ice and liberate all of those wonderful resources that you had in abundance in your past. So let's go back to an early memory when you first realized that you were passionate about music. Maybe it was a song you heard, or an instrument that you tried, or you figured out that you could do something that was natural for you and so difficult for other people. Just float back and observe that younger version of you that exuded passion. You weren't just interested. There was a part of you that was obsessed. And not because you should, but because you were drawn to it like a magnet. And if you can observe that time in your past where the passion was undeniably there, let me know by nodding your head. That's it. And float down. And I want you to give some advice to that younger version of you. Because that younger version of you will discover secrets that were hidden. That younger version of you will be betrayed and misled and let down. And maybe you have some wisdom for that younger version of you. That no matter how many times the rug is pulled from under, to never give up hope. And if that younger version of you is willing to take that advice, in return they have a gift for you. The passion, the enthusiasm, the optimism they have there in that moment is not dead. It's just frozen in that block of ice within. And I want you to imagine that younger version of you handing you a glowing ball of energy that represents all of that passion and enthusiasm and self-belief, the resilience to hear and know again and again, to make effort and hear crickets and still be proactive. And as they pass that glowing ball of energy, just imagine pulling it up to your heart, your chest. And let's do that now. Take that ball of glowing energy and just pull it up to your chest and imagine it thaws that block of ice that's frozen your mojo. And if you could imagine that block of ice melting, perhaps it liberates things that were always there but have recently felt beyond reach. You've seen nature documentaries where they time-lapse and you see a thriving ecosystem in summer, and then the winter comes and it looks like everything's dead. And then the ice and the snow melts and there are new shoots, new life. There is opportunity. Things that were lost start to return. And what if, in more recent times, this has been your winter? And what if now is the time, through your own actions, to create the spring? I want you to feel what was lost was never lost, just frozen in ice, and now it is thawed. It is available again. And I want you to float back up and see all the moments in your life where you exuded passion and self-belief, confidence and determination. You were able to build a career in an industry that chews people up and spits them out. That wasn't luck. That was because you had the talent, the work ethic, and the resources to do what was necessary to go above and beyond. And I want you to feel pride and love for the version of you in your past. You were not naive. You just believed in people. It is your nature to connect. But sometimes when people are betrayed, they hide away in that cave. They allow a giving heart to become frozen. And as it all melts away, I want you to reconnect with who you really are, not who you were trained to become. It's not your nature to be angry, to be cynical, to be dismissive. It's not your nature to see the darkness. It's your nature to see the light. And I want you to connect with all of those wonderful feelings. And I want you to observe more recent events. The end of a relationship, the moving from one city to a new city. I want you to see things that didn't work out, no longer where you're the victim, but simply circumstances that tested you and made you wiser. I want you to see some of those strikeouts as what they really are. It's your nature to take a risk, but you take a risk because you're aiming for the home run. A fairy tale relationship would be a home run. And you start in a city bustling with new energy, a dream house. These are the home runs. And rather than berating yourself for making mistakes or being naive, give yourself compassion and love and encouragement for being willing to pursue a dream. That's what your home runs are. Dreams. You're a dreamer. You've always been a dreamer. And other people have tried to stop you pursuing your dreams. But that's not your nature. It's your nature to take a risk. Because it's worth it if it increases the probability and not the guarantee that the dream can become real. And I want you to see a survivor. I want you to see someone that will not be deterred. I want you to see someone with a kick-ass attitude that temporarily retreated, but only temporarily, because that version of you is back, willing to have as many strikeouts as necessary to start getting back to those home runs. Observe where you are right now, with all of those resources that were melted, thawing and being released. That for a while you retreated, not because you'd lost. This was your period of reflection, deep personal insight. But now is time for the comeback. And oh, what a magnificent comeback it will be. Wouldn't it be wonderful for all of those people that wrote you off, assumed you would hide away in the shadows, to see that version of you that they've never witnessed, not to the level that they're about to, because I want you to see your future, where you return from travels, not as the same version of you that left, but the version of you that is your true nature. Imagine observing that version of you, reconnecting with roots. Your ancestors also had adversity and struggles. It's your nature to be a survivor, to come back stronger and wiser, with more of that kick-ass spirit than ever before. And perhaps you can imagine seeing your future now, where you touch down in your home city, but with a different version of you, fearless, wiser, a bring-it-on attitude, a version of you that doesn't mind rolling the dice and flipping the coin, making that call, sending that message. I want you to see a version of you that could take 1,000 no's and still move forward. And I want you to see when that version of you cannot be curtailed or deterred. I want you to see some wonderful home runs in your future, in your personal life, new friendships, maybe a new romantic relationship, maybe a career coming back like the phoenix from the flames. Or maybe there's new creative ways that you can connect that you'd never considered before. Just see these wonderful possibilities, not as things you have to do, but as things that are possible for you. And start to feel that mojo returning, the passion, the energy, the positivity returning, a wonderful sense that a difficult chapter is coming to an end and a wonderful new chapter is beginning. Consider this planting seeds of ideas deep, deep in your subconscious mind. And very soon, you will return to feel those seeds already taking root. So float back from the past and the future and feel yourself reconnecting into your physical body right now, but taking all these wonderful resources with you. As you take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your nose. Wiggle your fingers and wiggle your toes, connecting, calibrating into the here and the now. As I now count from 1 to 10 to awaken you, you will awaken feeling energized, with a sense of positivity and optimism. That when someone has nothing to lose, they also have nothing to fear. Starting to count 1, 2, 3, waking up. 4, 5, 6, more alert. 7, 8, open your eyes, open your eyes. 9, 10, wide awake, wide awake, wide awake. Thank you so much for joining me on today's episode of The Hypnotist. If you've enjoyed this episode or got some value from it, please give it a 5-star rating and review. And maybe you know someone that would also benefit from this particular episode, in which case share the episode with them so they can also get the benefit too. And if you would like to listen to this episode where it's just the hypnosis, so no intro, no outro, no explanation, just the hypnosis and completely ad-free, there will be a link in the description where you can subscribe at a very low cost and only get access to the hypnosis. So if that's of interest, please check that out. Thank you again for being a regular listener of The Hypnotist, and I'll see you again soon for more.
Hello?
Look what TJ Maxx dragged in.
The Devil Wears Prada 2 is now streaming on Disney Plus and Hulu.
We are digital, we are downloadable, we are streamable.
The fashion event of the year is certified fresh.
Pull yourself together, we have work to do.
Critics say it's smart and witty and the perfect sequel.
That's all.
Get runway ready for The Devil Wears Prada 2 on Disney Plus and Hulu. Rated PG-13.
The Viore Core Short moves with you. With everyday versatility and classic athletic fit. It's the one short for everything your day brings. Invest in your happiness and get 20% off your first purchase at viore.com/core20. That's VUORI.com/KORE20. Exclusions apply. Visit the website for full terms and conditions.